Hello everyone, this is Vida Nurali and this is the third video that I'm making. This video is all about basic calculations and basic high school math, and to be honest, there's nothing complicated about them. There are going to be 15 questions and most of them have the same solution. I hope this video will help you. Let's start. The first question says, in a drug study, it was determined that 4% of the participants developed a headache as a side effect. If there were 600 participants in this study, how many developed a headache? The first thing you need to do in this question is you have to convert 4% to a decimal number. How you do that, you're going to take the number and you divide it by 100. 4 divided by 100, which will give you 0.04. And you take that number, you multiply it by the number of the people who participated in this study, which is 600. 0.04 multiplied by 600 will give you 24. There is another way to do this question, is common sense. We know that 4% means 4 out of 100. And in 600, we have 6 different groups of 100. And out of each group, 4 people showed the side effect. 4 multiplied by 6 will give you 24. Our next question says, you are employed in a healthcare clinic where each employee must work 25% of 8 major holidays. How many holidays will you be expected to work? Well, basically this question is asking you what is 25% of 8 in a more complicated way. And it has the same solution as the last question. You have to convert 25% to a decimal number, which means you have to divide 25 by 100 and it will give you 0.25. And then you multiply that 25 by 8, which will give you 2. There is another common sense way. We know 100% is made of 4 25%. And 8 divided by that 4, which it will give you 2. Our third question says, if the cost of 1 roll of gauze is 0.69 cents, what is the cost of 3.5 rolls? You have to multiply 0.69, which is the cost of 1, by 3.5. 0.69 multiplied by 3.5 will give you 2.415. And then you round it because it's money. You have to round it to 2 decimal places, which will give you 2.42. One thing that is really important is that do not round till you get to your final answer. That's really important. You don't have to round the middle of the steps that you're doing. Our fourth question says, to prepare a nutritional formula from frozen concentrate, you mix 3 cans of water to every 1 can of concentrate. How many cans of water will you need to prepare formula from 4 cans of concentrate? Really easy. 1 can needs 3. When you add another can, you need 6. Another one will make it 9, and another one will make it 12. Or you just take 3 cans of water and you multiply it by 4 and you will have 12. Really simple. Our fifth question says, if a centimeter equals to 3/8 inch, how many centimeters in a laceration that measures 3 inches? Really simple. You're going to take that 3 divided by 3/8. How you do that is you're going to give this 3 a denominator of 1. And then you need to change that division to multiplication. That's how it works in fractions. You're going to write the first fraction with no change. You're going to change the division sign to a multiplication sign. And for the next fraction you have, you're going to switch the top and bottom number, which will give you 8/3. 3 times 8 is 24, and 3 times 1 is 3. 24 divided by 3 will give you 8. Your answer is 8. Question number 6 says, if a portion of meat totaling 125 grams contains 20% protein and 5% fat, how many grams each of protein and fat does the meat contain? Same solution as the last question. You're going to convert 20% to a decimal, and then you multiply it by 125, which will give you 25 grams of protein. And then you need to convert that 5% of fat to a decimal number, which will give you 0.05, and you multiply that by 125, which will give you 0.25 grams of fat. Question number 7 says, the total points for a course in the nursing program is 308. A nursing student needs to achieve 75% of the total points to pass the semester. How many points are required to pass? You're going to convert that 75% to a decimal number, which will give you 0.75, and then you multiply your 0.75 by 308, which is the total points for a course, and you will have 231 as your answer. Next question says, to work off 90 calories, Angie must walk for 27 minutes. How many minutes would she need to walk to work off 200 calories? You have to divide 27 by 90 to find the time to work off 1 calorie. 27 divided by 90, or 27 over 90, when you simplify the fraction, it will give you 3/10. And 3 divided by 10 gives you 0.3. When you get to that 0.3, you take that number and you multiply it by 200, which will give you 60 minutes to burn 90 calories. Question number 9 says, the doctor orders a record of the patient's fluid intake and output. The patient drinks 25% of a bowl of broth. How many milliliters of intake will be recorded if the bowl holds 200 milliliter? Same solution. You convert 25% to a decimal number, which is 0.25, and then you take that 0.25 and you multiply it by 200, which will give you 50 milliliters.